Well, let's get the mood at the Labor and Liberal functions now, and we got the mood here. Let's get the mood out there with Simon Love and Trudy McIntosh. Simon and Nick Rees with you. You've got the band back together. What's the mood like there?
We do, and we've got someone else joining the band very temporarily. Kate Thwaites, the member for Jagga, also a friend of Peta Murphy. Kate, what was the mood out there for you today on the booths?
Well, it was a mood where there was a lot of remembrance of Peta. She was someone who was known in this community and loved in this community. But it was also a mood where I think we saw the hard work that Jodi's put into this campaign. And Jodi is someone who was recruited by Peta because she knew that Jodi was going to be a champion for this seat, just as she was. So it is a tough environment for us. We do know that there are swings against governments at by-elections. Obviously, we've got the money that Advance Australia have been pumping into the seat and the effect that's going to have. So tough out there, but Jodi has run a fantastic campaign.
So Peta was a very hard-working local MP, incredibly popular. Jodi obviously had to start from a standing start in a pretty short time frame up against Nathan Conroy, who was the local mayor. I mean, how much of a factor do you think that could be in tonight's result?
Look, I think the fact that Nathan was the local mayor absolutely is a factor. He did have that presence. Jodi was a community champion, and that's why Peta recruited her. Of course, we've seen the Liberals run really heavily on Nathan and not very heavily on Peter Dutton. Peter Dutton was not here today, and I do think that goes to show, as an MP here in Melbourne, just how unpopular Peter Dutton is here. So, you know, again, I think Jodi's run a really strong local campaign, but we are up against it.
You're going to be watching this result pretty carefully. Jagga, I don't know if there's many similarities between Dunkley and, say, Jagga. Probably a lot of mortgage holders in both seats. Would that be fair to say? So what sort of local analysis will you put on this result tonight?
I think every MP in the Parliament will look at the result tonight. We always do that. As a government, we know that cost of living pressures are real, and that is real in my community, just like it's real here in Dunkley. I've been out on the doors in both communities, and people say to me, absolutely, they are feeling it. They also tell me they know about our tax cuts, they're interested in finding out more, they want us to be taking the action we are to look at prices at the supermarkets. So all of these are really live issues.
Okay, appreciate your time. We'll let you get off to some other commitments here. Thanks so much for joining us. Nick, just quickly, what are we hearing inside Labor, the Labor camp as well?
Well, look, Labor is worried about the fact that they lost in Peta Murphy, a very well-known, hard-working local MP, and they did have to make a standing start with Jodi, and she was, of course, up against Nathan Conroy, who was the local mayor and had quite a high public profile. So they knew the campaign was going to be, the ground campaign was going to be challenging for them, but I think they feel that they've run a pretty good campaign, had a lot of resource here on the ground, so we will watch very carefully as the night goes on.
I think it'll be a long night here, Kieran.
Simon, thank you.